Hello everyone, good to be with you. This is meteorologist Erica Rascaeta at the One News Weather Center with your weather report brought to you by Les Schwab Tires, your local source for winter tires. Taking a look at the headlines, we are expecting more settled conditions to last us for just a bit, but an isolated shower flurry is not ruled out throughout the day on Friday. We are expecting very windy and breezy conditions, especially across the Columbia Basin, even higher elevations. And then throughout most of the weekend, we are expecting chilly temperatures and also mostly dry conditions expected. Finally, a break from that precipitation. Throughout the past 24 hours across Ephrata, we did see highs reaching into the upper 30s when we should have been in the mid 30s, just a few degrees above average of where we should be for this time of the year. But overnight lows did also remain above average as we should have seen temperatures in the mid to lower 20s. Across the Columbia Basin, we did see highs reaching into the lower 40s. We should have been in the mid 30s. Again, temperatures will remain above average. And overnight lows did reach into the lower 30s, and that we really should have been in the mid to lower 20s. Dry conditions did prevail, finally a break from that precipitation. And current conditions showing just that. Mostly cloudy skies out there, although we are expecting much thicker clouds. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s and dew point temperatures very close. So that basically means that the atmosphere will remain saturated, and that's what is allowing for those low-lying clouds across most of the basin. Winds will continue to blow mainly from the southwest, and that's what will allow us to keep temperatures above average. So here's what we saw throughout the past 24 hours. A plume of moisture worked its way across most of the area, especially working its way into the inland northwest, but abundant cloud cover is expected. And we did see dry conditions for us here across the Columbia Basin. And then throughout the next 24 hours, here's what we're expecting. The next plume of moisture already working its way in, leaving some rain across the coastal areas, and even some mix of rain and snow across most of the Cascades. For us here across the Columbia Basin, we did remain relatively dry. Overnight, we are expecting that plume of moisture to have already reached the inland northwest and then working its way into our friends for the northern Rockies. And throughout the morning hours, we are still expecting mostly dry conditions for us, although we could see some low-lying clouds throughout the morning hours. Friday, dry conditions will prevail across the Columbia Basin. The majority of the precipitation will remain our west and even across the inland northwest, but we are expecting very breezy conditions throughout the afternoon on Friday with wind gusts of up to 31 miles per hour. Saturday, no change. We are expecting dry conditions. We could see a few clouds develop, but apart from that, a pretty dry weekend is in store for us. But the next plume of moisture already working its way in there. We see it across the Pacific, slowly working its way in, leaving already some snow for our friends to the south. But for us, we are expecting relatively dry across most of Washington throughout most of the weekend. And then we are expecting the next plume of moisture Sunday evening into Monday. There we see it already towards Canada, working its way from the northwest. So here's what we can expect on Friday as far as temperatures. In the 40s all across, some rain and even a mix of snow throughout most of the mountains. But for us here across the Columbia Basin, we are expecting to remain relatively dry with wind gusts of up to 31 miles per hour throughout most of the afternoon. So here's what we can expect throughout the next few days. We are expecting chilly temperatures throughout most of the weekend, and then some light snow and rain showers expected to come back for Tuesday and into Wednesday. This weather report was brought to you by Les Schwab Tires, your local source for winter tires. We'll be back with sports.